Welcome to Set the Hall of Games. I'm David.
I'm Brian, and we talk about video games
And video game
stuff.
adjacent news.
Yes,
Or
adjacent news.
information.
So, David, not even talking about we didn't include this one, but I'm going to include it because I just thought of it this moment,
no.
and I don't think it's in our docket thing.
It's not in our
The
docket.
Microsoft CEO has.
Oh yeah, I forgot to put it in there.
It's not in here. We don't have any articles or anything for this. But there's huge layoffs at Microsoft this year. David's been our number one resource for reporting this. And it turns out that all the money they saved from laying off all the people that work at Microsoft just went to the CEO for his salary bonus.
A $30 million salary bonus. Oh my goodness. It's just like...
So all the people
really?
they laid off, the literally thousands of people they've laid off, just all that money just went to the CEO. So... Oh man,
Who already makes multi-million dollars?
His yearly salary now, I think, I could be wrong, plus or minus 10 million from what I'm about to say, but I think it's $72 million a year, not including bonuses.
30. So basically, he just doubled his salary. Oh,
yeah.
Great.
Yeah, so he makes a lot of money.
That's why.
That's crazy money, man. No wonder these not politicians. No wonder these CEOs are starting to get into politics because they have so much money. They can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's.
And we're not getting into that though. David, please get us out of that segue and bring us into our first news.
Well, just like the dirty depths of politics, it's time to get to the dirty depths of Pokemon.
Yes,
and
David,
the crazy lore behind Pokemon, including some weird stuff between a little girl and a Pokemon.
Yeah, so David, Game Freak is living up to their name.
Freaky.
That was that's how I started. Isn't that pretty clever? I thought that was pretty clever when I wrote that up.
Game Freak, oh yeah, they're getting their freak on.
So Game Freak had a big leak, and it included, I have a list here of employee info, source code for Heart Gold and Soul Silver, Black 2 and White 2. It also has the source code for Pokemon's Legends Z to A. That's the new game that's coming out.
Okay.
And Gen 10 games that are unannounced Gen 10 games. Although the leaker who supposedly has all this information is not giving out the unreleased games, so Pokemon Legends Z A and the unannounced Gen 10 games that are coming out. He has that stuff, but he is not releasing it. He has not stated why.
He doesn't want Nintendo to smack him harder than they smacked Power World.
Well, he's probably terrified if Nintendo finds out who this guy is. He's probably terrified. I mean, he should already be terrified if he was willing to release employee info. I feel like, I mean, for me, who doesn't own a company, I would rather have my game leak than my employees' info. I value my employees more than the game. But Pokemon designs also got leaked, new and old. Beta designs of Pokemon, new and old, were leaked. Meeting ideas and stuff was leaked. And the one thing that I think you and I'm ending with this one that we'll have fun with is stories of human and Pokemons having non-consensual breeding. Is internal stories that actually were written and produced for a child's game where it turns Typhlosion specifically into a predator. David, what is your thoughts on that?
Typhlosion, the sexual predator. You know, I thought it would be more a tentacle monster because that's more in
It would make more sense if it was like Octillery or something like that, but it's not.
But it's Typhlosion. Typhlosion.
Yeah, Typhlosion's the predator. You know what's funny is like that is what Typhlosion's going to be forever now. He's a predator now. Like, have that like in your anybody who still plays Pokemon, if there's anybody out there that's above the age of 14, if you have Typhlosion in your party, just know that you are a pedophile.
Typhlosion is going to be on that
he's on the list, dude. He's on the list.
He's on the list.
That's wild. That's canon, dude. That's canon. Typhlosion is a predator. It's canon. Came from Game Freak. That's all I have to say about the Pokemon stuff. David,
good on Nintendo for raising their
good on Nintendo. You did a good job, Nintendo. We like you very much.
Maybe you could stop suing Power World. I really, I'm not sad about the Pokemon getting their stuff leaked after they sued Power World. I'm like, yeah, serves them right. has some karma.
The only thing I care about is the employee info because
Sure.
we know, especially with Pokemon, because we know there's extremely hardcore fans for Pokemon across the entire planet, and I would be worried that like now that my name is out there and they would know I'd work at Game Freak and I work on Pokemon, that's just gonna open them up to like getting destroyed either real life, online, whatever the case will be, because people are very passionate about Pokemon, and now I would be scared personally, so I feel bad about that. That's really the only thing I care about, though. I don't care that game's leaked. That doesn't matter to
Well,
me.
yeah, from the on the personal level, yeah, I mean that sucks about the, but I mean like in general that Nintendo has been hurt. That doesn't really
Yeah,
bother.
the company getting hurt.
itself.
Well, the company's probably not even going to get hurt by this. It doesn't matter. Whenever these games come out, they're going to sell like hotcakes. But like, still, it's just the employees. I think you and I are the ones that really have any care at all. I mean, I overall about the whole Game Freak thing, I don't really care. But the thing I care about most is the employees' info.
Yeah,
That's all.
I care about the employees' info, and maybe they shouldn't sue Pal World for dumb things like weird
I mean,
patents.
what they're suing them for, they could sue any game that's
any-
like Pokemon.
Yeah, they could sue Tim and so many other games. It's like,
Well, if you have a
they don't.
they could sue if you have a mini map too, because they have a copyright for a mini map. So I mean, if you use a mini map in your game, be careful. Nintendo could come after you.
GTA, God of War, any game.
Yeah, they could, but they don't.
Oh, good
'Cause
thing
they know they
Saints
wouldn't
Row.
win, but-
Good thing Saints Row's already dead. That had a mini map. Goodbye, Saints Row.
I love how that's the one you go to. That's like Saints Row is the game that's like that's the one that has the mini map.
Well, they're already dead, so they can't. I don't think they can be sued anymore.
Okay, well that's all we got for Pokemon. I didn't really care about the league. I just wanted to bring up the Typhlosion thing. I don't really care about anything.
The Typhlosion thing is absolutely fantastic.
that's
Anyway, Amazon's God of War series hires Ronald D. Moore as showrunner. This, to
David,
me,
let it go, man. Let it all out.
personally, this is fantastic news because Rafe Judkins, he is the guy in charge of the Wheel of Time, which you'll hear about next week. And since we're driving into season 2 of the Wheel of Time, and let's just say Rafe Judkins isn't the greatest when it comes to like taking a story and keeping it intact when translating it to film. So from a previous known source material. So the fact that he's no longer working on God of War gives me a lot of hope, especially since Ronald D. Moore is listed as the new showrunner. Ronald D. Moore did amazing work on Star Trek The Next Generation. He did amazing work on Star Trek Deep Space Nine, my favorite Star Trek, and I really enjoyed his Battlestar Galactica show that he rebooted. I'm excited for him to be in charge of God of War. I hope he'll do a really good job because has a track record of making really good shows in the past. So I am super on board for him as a showrunner for this over Rafe Judkins. Absolutely.
I mean, if you trust him, I trust him because God of War is my favorite video game. 2016 version. I don't think it'd be smart to start with the 2016 version of God of War. I think they should start back in.
I would love for them to start. I mean, because that way you could do the show, do a couple seasons in Greece, and then go and do a season in between, and then do a season in Norse mythology.
Yeah,
they could do.
Yeah, that's where I would like them to start. But I feel like a God of War show never would have even been considered until they changed the format of what God of War was to the 2016 version. So I could see them starting with that. I hope they don't, but
I hope they don't too, because I just feel like there's not enough material for like a multi seasons of shows. I mean, God of War isn't that long a game.
It's kind of those early God of War games are really just kind of like a beat 'em up with a loose story. It's not till the 2016 one where it turned into like this is the story's the main focus.
But the thing is with the different pantheons, I mean, they could do so much stuff with the different pantheons. They could do like 2 seasons in Greek pantheon, 2 seasons in North pantheon, 2 seasons in Egyptian pantheon. Like even go beyond the games, because I mean I don't know what you would do just doing like I don't know if you could do the Greece mythology the Norse mythology for 5 seasons. Like that just doesn't seem like
I, I
Even
have no idea. I mean,
even doing
there's not a ton of Norse mythology, but there's enough where you could. I mean, who knows? Maybe they just want to tell a story and make the show end and not make it go on forever. Maybe they only want 3 seasons and that'll be enough and we'll all be satisfied.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Ronald D. Moore does long-running shows. Star Trek: The Next Generation, 7 seasons. Star Trek: Deep Space Nine, 7 seasons. Star Trek: Voyager, 7 seasons. Battlestar Galactica was only 4 seasons, and Sci-Fi at the very end was like, "Oh, we should have asked for another season." Oh well, but
Well,
that was a short.
we'll see. We'll see what happens. I mean, it's gonna be many years before we get this God of War show.
I don't know how many seasons Outlander was. I didn't follow Outlander.
I have no idea. 3.
I think it's more than 4. Let me look it up real quick.
Okay, we're doing live reporting, and I will talk about how Atreus is kind of annoying in God of War, and I hope they can kind of like redeem him in the next game because I mean, you can't compare to Kratos. He's kind of like the greatest character of all time, but like Atreus is still not like Kratos level. So I don't know, like, if they make the whole game based on Atreus, I don't think it'll do as well because Kratos is such a staple in video games that Kratos would have to be in it. And now I'm sure David has the answer to Outlanders. Back to you, David.
Back to you, David. Thanks, Brian. David here. Outlander also 7 seasons, along with Star Trek.
Oh, it's a long show too, then.
Yeah. So Ronald D. Moore usually does longer shows. So if they're going to do 7 seasons, I really hope they're not Norse mythology for the entire time.
I don't know if there's 7 seasons worth of content.
I don't think there. I mean, like, even
who knows?
If they adapted the games, there's probably only 3 seasons for the 2 games, maybe. I guess it depends. If they're 5-episode seasons, then maybe they could stretch it to 4.
But, 5 episodes in a season. Stop putting that into the world. We're already down to 8.
I know. We're gonna start putting out 1.5 episode seasons. So
I will say, some of these shows, I'm glad they're only 8.
Oh yeah,
Rings of Powers. Like, I'm glad it was only 8. I'm like, can you imagine that being a 24 episode season? Oh my god.
The writing is so bad in that show. Oh my god.
Yeah,
anyway,
yes.
Moving on to the next thing. You sent me a YouTube video for Claire Obscure, an Expedition 33 cast revealed.
So this is one of the few games that I've seen so far this year that was shown that I have an interest in. All the new games that they've shown trailers for, I don't really care too much about, except the Ghost of Tsushima 2. But this is the cast of voice actors for the upcoming video game, and it gives me happiness to know that they're not just cheaping out and they're not just getting random people. Which I'm not saying random people are bad, but it's nice to see names that you recognize. Andy Serkis is one of them. David, I know you know who Andy Serkis is, so we're all big fans of Andy Serkis.
Yes, it's
yep. Hopefully he does that voice in the game. I would love that. Time. That would be great. I would love that if they had a mod for that. Another character in there is Charlie Cox, who plays Daredevil in the Daredevil show.
Oh, yeah,
I don't know how he got
Charlie
that,
Cox.
but he's also in that.
You know, he must have stumbled into it, being blind and all.
Yeah, and I don't know how. Yeah, he must have stumbled into it. That's the only way to do it. Another one is Christy Ryder. She's the voice of Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate 3.
Oh,
so
Shadowheart,
yeah. Somebody we recognize, person we recognize.
But we killed Shadowheart in our playthrough that we're doing.
We did kill Shadowheart, but that's okay because she can't survive every time. I would like to see the stats on like what's her survival rate throughout the whole Baldur's Gate thing for all players. I bet it's pretty high. I feel like we totally are not. You shouldn't kill her, but we did anyway.
Yeah, she died. We tried to get Lae'zel to kill herself, but she kind of like didn't, even though she was trying to. We
tried very hard to get her to kill herself. She did. She somehow was able to survive that. But yeah, Christy Ryder is the voice of Shadowheart. She's also in it. And the last one I recognize is Ben Starr, who is the voice of Clive in Final Fantasy 16.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he had a cool voice. He has a very cool voice. I like that guy's voice. It's very like. I can't do it because I don't have that kind of voice. But like,
you're not
if you know. Yeah. So that's all. I just want to we're something that interests me is that game, and the voice actors now interest me too.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that game. It looks really cool, like a cool action RPG, and I hope it'll be good because there's been a lot of stinkers this year.
A lot of not good.
A lot of not
especially movies this year. Side note, movies. What the heck's going on in 2024? Why do we have no like? Why is like no movies come out that like I have even an interest in wanting to go see?
I mean, granted, 2023 wasn't that much better. Remember, we had like Oppenheimer and Barbie. That was about it.
Yeah, but this year we had Dune,
We had Dune this year. Yeah, Dune was good.
one movie the entire year. I'm
Yeah,
sure
we
more came out in
didn't well, we
2023. I
didn't
just can't
have.
think of anything. But like, I think Dune is the only thing I actually enjoyed that we talked about.
I mean, we saw
I
the
have
Planet of the
seen
Apes
Alien
movie.
Romulus. I didn't hate Alien Romulus. That was the last time I was at the movies.
The Planet of the Apes movie, which was just there,
I
was
didn't like
fine.
that. Don't act
Ah,
like that. You thought that was fine?
yeah, it was neither offensive nor good. Remember, it was like
Yeah.
a we didn't. I don't think we thought it was bad. We just didn't think it was good. It was just kind of like middle of the road.
Okay. I
It
mean, if I
it,
had
it
to, I'd
existed.
rather see an Avatar movie over that.
Avatar movies are also pretty middle of the road.
No, 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 no. Wait, that is blasphemy. Move on. We need to move on. I'm gonna get way sidetracked here. You need to move on.
All right, then our
Best
last bit
IP
of
ever.
news and our last article that I found that was interesting was I found it just a little before we started podcasting. So, Baldur's Gate 3 publishing chief calls out Ubisoft's broken strategy. If gamers need to get used to not owning game, developers must get used to not having jobs. Praise
What a
be to
solid.
Baldur's Gate and the
Larian
people that
Studio
work there.
is still one of the ones we trust here. I know we talk about Baldur's Gate a lot or Larian a lot, but like if you're going to continue to make statements like this and continue to like just keep doubling down on making just good games, we're gonna keep talking about it. If you do dumb stuff like Ubi stuff, we'll also bring that up as well. So if you do something really good, we bring it up. If you do something really bad, we bring it up as long as we're interested in it.
Hmm.
And this
Yeah,
is one of the really good things.
I love Baldur's Gate. Larian, other people they seem pretty great. I
Yeah.
just love
They're just
developers.
they're just a bunch of nerds that are making games at the best quality they can, and they just happen to be making such good games that they're blowing up and making like $1 billion.
I love it. Developers must get used to not having jobs. That's meh, chef's kiss. That
I
that
mean,
was
Ubisoft needs
fantastic.
to at this point. I know we've talked about it before, but at this point, Ubisoft needs to kind of let's close their not close their doors, but like I don't know,
I mean,
figure something out.
they may as well close it, or is aren't making anything good.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean the developers that work there or the people that work there aren't talented. I'm sure it's just, a small group
I
of
mean,
people that are really controlling what's going on
they're
here.
talented at trying to harvest money, but that's about that's
Yeah,
about
the
it.
monetization team just figuring out how to make more money out of people. I mean, in the new Call of Duty, we didn't report on this because I don't really care too much, but in the new Call of Duty that just came out, you can pay a subscription fee to get better audio.
Oh, okay, yeah. I
How do
I've
you how do you feel about that?
I don't buy or support Call of Duty. I don't like those trash
I don't
games.
either. Isn't
So
that wild? That is wild. You can buy better audio for PvP, so you can hear like
well,
spatial audio.
Microsoft owns them, so I mean they'll probably start doing that in all their games. Just like a Bethesda, it's like,
Bethesda.
oh
Gonna
man,
come
like
to Bethesda.
you can pay a subscription to get a less broken game. You got to pay $15 a month for the game not
Oh man.
for the game
Yeah.
to not suck.
The Starfield DLC came out and it's not doing so good.
Oh yeah, it's not doing great. It's
I
getting
mean,
pretty merry.
I've been saying it. I've been saying this as long as I've known you, David. Bethesda sucks, and now people are like, "Oh yeah, I guess Bethesda does suck." I've been
Oh,
saying it.
I liked Fallout 4. I liked the Fallout 4. Some of the DLC was really good for Fallout 4, but after Fallout 4, they fell off a cliff.
Yeah, but even when Fallout 4 came out, I remember this is when I first. It was around the time I first met you. You were still saying like Fallout 4 is it's fine, but it's not as good. So it was
Yeah,
falling down.
I mean, it was. It's fallen down significantly since. I mean, it definitely has. Each game gets more and more dumbed down, and the Fallout 4 was like the last time it was dumbed down where it wasn't super awful, but it just nosedived after Fallout. It's just, they've taken away so much gameplay. It just they're
Yeah.
not fun
Next
anymore.
thing you know, the puzzles in the game are going to be match the color to the word.
Yeah, probably. I hope so.
That's going to be the color. To unlock the door, you need to
I
walk up to it and tap the red one.
I mean, I actually hope so because the new lockpick mechanic in Starfield takes so long to do. It's so annoying. I mean, it's nice. It's nice that it's not the old lockpick mechanic from the last 4 games that was the exact same lockpick mechanic, but this one just takes so much longer to do. It's annoying.
I like the lock picking in Skyrim.
Yeah, it's the same in Fallout 4 and Fallout 3, and
Yeah, that was the only time I liked their. I've never played another Bethesda game besides Skyrim, so I can't speak to any of the other games. But I like the lockpicking in that one.
I liked it too. But it was the same in like 4 or 5 games straight, so they decided to change it for Starfield. And
Okay. It's now, isn't it like a circle or something?
yeah, it's more like a puzzle game, but it takes so long to do because it's not
Well,
immediately
there's good
obvious.
stuff in there, dude. There's good stuff.
No, there's just trash in there because it's a Bethesda game. Because even in Master Lock things in Fallout, there'd be trash in that one as well. And to kind of cap off what we do every now and then, what have you been playing, Brian?
Oh no.
Nothing.
I haven't really been playing anything.
Oh.
I don't know. I wanted to play I've kind of just been watching like reviews and stuff of games. I haven't actually been playing games, or I've been looking to play a spooky game. Haven't really made a decision yet. We're not at Halloween yet. I want to play Metaphor Refantasio or whatever from Atlas, their new Atlas game.
Oh, okay, yeah.
That game is getting really good reviews, and
I
I'm
mean,
starting to,
so
I think
did-
by the
so
time we
did
podcast next, I probably will have bought it, and I probably will be playing it.
So did Persona 5.
Yeah, but Persona 5, the problem I have with Persona 5, now this might be a hot take for people, but it was a high school drama. I don't care about high school drama. I understand the game was good.
You like
I
Hogwarts
understand
Legacy?
Hogwarts Legacy was a good game. I like that game.
But it's also like less than high school. They're younger than I think they're younger than high schoolers.
Yeah, but there's magic. Like there's I know you can summon stuff or whatever in Persona, but like the drama in Persona was like high school drama. It was like high school drama. In Hogwarts Legacy, it wasn't high school drama. It was like, hey, this demon's coming to fight us or whatever. It's not like in Persona. It's literally they're texting people, they're texting classmates because they have drama of like where they're sitting in the room. They don't like their seat. It's like I don't care about this.
Okay.
It's a different type of high school drama. It's not
Gotcha.
real high school drama.
Gotcha. Well, I was off this week. I played and beat Resident Evil 4 Remake and Viewfinder.
You didn't play Satisfactory at all?
I started after I beat Viewfinder.
How was Viewfinder? That's the game. It's a puzzle game, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like you're looking through a camera and you kind of just have to do one of these.
You can take pictures and you can use the pictures to like traverse the levels.
Yeah.
Viewfinder, it's neat, but also I feel like they did too many mechanics and they didn't really
Utilize all of them?
utilize. Yeah, it's like you don't.
Utilize
So
them
the
enough?
game is 5 chapters, and you don't get your own camera until the 3rd chapter, and then at
They
that
don't give you a
point-
camera?
until the 3rd chapter. Like there's like static cameras you can use, or there's pictures you can find, and there's
Yeah.
photocopiers, so you can copy a picture you find. But like, I don't know. They usually they only give you like 5 pieces of film to shoot with in a level, and sometimes I was able to get away with some levels only using like 1 or 2. And then like some levels they only give you 1, and then they're like actually harder to do. And I wish they would have like let you experiment more with it, because they kept throwing new mechanics at you, like walls that can't be photoed, or like you have to use sound to like turn on a portal to get out of a certain area. Like they started throwing lots of different little mechanics at you, and they didn't really like stretch the idea of the photo as a traversal
Gotcha.
thing as much as they could have, because they kept doing all these other little things along with it. And then you had to start taking selfies so you could teleport places, because there was things.
Kind of cool.
I mean, it was kind of cool, but like it
Oh,
also
you're really confusing people who don't know what the game is. I can tell you that.
Yeah,
I know
Viewfinder.
what the game is, and I understand how the game works, and I'm getting kind of lost with all the stuff that you can do in it. I can't imagine somebody who doesn't even know what the game is.
Oh yeah, it's just it's
It's a puzzle game.
It's a puzzle game, and it's a good puzzle game. It's just I wish they would have like given you more time with some of the core mechanics, instead of like keep on throwing new mechanics at you, then the game's over.
Yeah, well,
And then like the last segment's is an escape sequence. You have to do like 10 puzzles in 5 minutes.
and you were able to get it done.
I mean, it took like a bunch of tries.
Hey,
but at the very end, I had like 3 minutes left to go once I got it down because
what kind of feels good? Well, that's kind of how puzzles work, though. Once you know how it works, it kind of like loses its puzzleness.
yeah. It's kind of some pretty good brain teasers. It's pretty good. Resident Evil 4. I personally didn't love it. It was a bit longer than Resident Evil 2 and 3.
How dare you?
So it like outlived its welcome. I
You're
know
gonna get beat up online for that.
I know it's blasphemy. People
Yeah,
love
that's blasphemy, dude. That's the one that people like.
People love Resident Evil 4 more than anything, and I personally didn't like it. I mean, there's nothing wrong with the game from a technical standpoint, except for there's a couple parts where like the voice, the mouth syncing didn't link up. But
Yeah.
I've watched tons and tons of lore videos for Resident Evil. People love Resident Evil 4. There's all this lore in Resident Evil 4, and most of it doesn't really come across in like the game. Like it's all just written down and on like notes you find, and that's not. I was hoping for more from the story based on like all this lore I've read. So for me, there was like a disconnect between like the game itself and the lore I know is supposed to be there, and I was just a little bit sad that it was just kind of like, I guess, shallower than I was hoping it would be based on like how much lore there is in Resident Evil, and it's all just like written down in notes, and I don't read those half the time.
Don't need to.
Yeah, I know. It's just like
I haven't played 4, but 2, the remake of 2 is probably my favorite. I was invested in that one.
2 was good, but I mean they also didn't they weren't long. This game was a lot longer. I think
how long is this one?
Let's see. My Steam hours aren't going to be the same as my regular hours because the game lies, but my Steam hours is like 18 or 19.
Okay, I guess that's not very long game then. I mean, it's a good looking. It was a good game. I don't know. It was a good game. It doesn't need to be a long game.
My Steam time is 21 hours and 21.3 hours.
Yeah, it's a short. That's a shorter game, but it was still good.
It's longer than 2 and 3.
2 and 3 are not long at all.
2 and 3 are very short. 2, I've only got 14 hours in, and 3 9 hours. So basically, Resident Evil 4 was basically as long as 2 and 3 combined, and it just kind of outstayed its welcome for me.
Well, that's what that did. That's the games. Those are the games.
And I started Yakuza 0. Woohoo!
Whoa, Kiryu. You're gonna Kiryu. You're gonna start learning about him.
Yeah, I wanted to do that before playing Infinite Wealth, so I get more back.
Are you gonna play all of them?
Maybe. I mean, like I really loved Like a Dragon.
Okay, you're gonna be playing these for the next probably 8 months.
I really loved Like a Dragon, and it made me want to go play some of the other ones. And
you could easily put 100 hours in all of them.
Oh yeah, they're long games. And my biggest gripe about the Like a Dragon series in general is that you just can't save often enough.
No, I hate the saving in those games. It wasn't Like a Dragon. It's like go to a phone booth or whatever. Oh God.
In Yakuza 0, it's go to a phone booth.
Yeah, go to a phone booth.
I think you can save slightly more freely in Like a Dragon, but still, like it's just really obnoxious.
I hate that, especially when you're a kid. It's more fine because you don't have like responsibilities. But like when I have to like, okay, it's time. I gotta go to bed because I have to go to work in the morning. But then it's like, okay, where's the phone booth at?
Or it's like, oh, I'm in the middle of a plot sequence, and the plot sequence is 3 hours long.
Yeah, and you can't just stop.
Yeah, there's like no place to save. Like that's the worst part about the Like a Dragon series. Like the story's great, but I wish they would let you save it mid cutscene or something like that.
Sometimes you gotta go buy groceries. Sometimes you just have to go do that.
Or go to the gym, or go to sleep, or go to work.
Yeah,
you know, like
it's sometimes you gotta do that.
It's gonna take me a long time to play these games because I'm only gonna play them when I know I have significant time I can spend because saving
you gotta take the laundry out.
Because saving is so infrequent in those games, and that's like the biggest downfall of those games for me personally.
Sure. Hey, I understand.
Anyway,
I can get behind that.
Anyway, well that's what we've been playing and the news that we've been doing.
Yep. And email David at synthaholics@yahoo.com.
All right.
I've been Brian.
And I've been David. And we'll catch you next time on Synthaholic Games.
Bye.